What up? You're listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. We got to talk about the Ohio State ass whooping that we received. And then we're going to try to turn the page. We're going to try to move on. Hopefully, we can get a homecoming dub against Purdue. We're going to break it down and tell you why you shouldn't sleep on them. But it's all here at the Gopher Broke pod. What up? You are listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. We're talking Gophers football once a week, every week. We actually kind of do it twice a week, most weeks when we get our live post-game coverage going for you as well. But we got to talk about the Ohio State beatdown that the Gophers received. We're going to try to turn the page as well. But before we do any of that, I want to say like, comment, subscribe, and shout out to the Ohio State fans. Besides the 12-year-olds that were chilling in the comments after the game trying to talk that talk like they've never won before, the real OG Ohio State fans came through, they showed love. They knew that their guys were going to get it, but they were appreciative of the show. They liked the coverage. They liked the vibes that we had going over here. So we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Look, y'all got a real one with Julian saying. I call him a game manager. I still think he's a game manager, but it's okay to be a game manager. You can be elite and be a game manager. Like Mac Jones was an elite game manager. Joe Burrow at times is an elite game manager. Like it's okay to be a game manager as long as you're elite. And that dude, Julian saying, is elite. So shout out to them. We appreciate y'all for coming through last week. But Tristyn, before we dive into the Big Ten games, I just need a quick thoughts. Like, how long did it take you to recover from the BTA that the Gophers just received last Saturday?
No. I mean, to go back, yes, shout out to Ohio State fans. I think every week we just put Ohio State in the intro or in the title of the show just to get the numbers up. You know what I'm saying? Like, week one.
No, but then they'll hit the dislike because of like, this isn't even about Ohio State.
First week after Ohio State lost, Purdue, like just always put Ohio State in there. We'll always have that first drive. We will always have that first drive. Good. I don't think I've ever said, let's shock the world so many times. I've said it over and over, the whole drive, every single play, let's shock the world. Let's shock the world. Oh my God, let's shock the world. Honey, look, let's shock the world. Honey, the Gophers are about to shock the world.
Your wife was like, shut up.
That's exactly what it was. It's tough. It didn't take me long to get over it. It's Ohio State. It did feel like it was the longest game ever.
Oh my God.
Like it just kept going. It kept going. It kept going. And then also it makes this week feel like a new season. It like, you know, like it feels like it was such a long time ago, but that game was so long. It was so long.
Yes. Also, dude, I'm over here just taking your thunder left and right. We almost did it again. We got to talk about a gripe of the day, a gripe of the week. What do you got going for me? It's been a rough week over here in the Kane household, but I'm hoping you can give me a gripe that can maybe make me laugh or make me change my perspective over here.
Brother, I've had a clean week. I've had a clean week. My gripe is another one of those dad gripes, though, that I know that listeners probably don't want to hear this stuff anymore. But
hey, some of them relate.
We are at this stage in our house. My oldest is playing football, and we got injuries, and we're just deciphering: are we injured or are we hurt? And it's just a hard line to have to teeter on. I'm like, hey, if you're hurt, you're hurt. Like it's okay, buddy. Like we're fine. That or get up. You're fine. Play. Like you're okay. Yeah, you're not hurt.
No, we know that in my household as a bill, and I'll tell you why it's called a bill.
Okay.
Because my mom would always watch, and there's this dude on my team in basketball that anytime he would like kind of screw up or miss a big basket or something like that, he'd be like walking up the court, kind of limping a little bit, like acting like he got hurt or something. It's like, nah, bro, you just screwed up. It's fine. Like, move on. You're not hurt. You're not injured. Like, let's go.
Nothing's hurt, but you cried.
Right, right. My mom would be like, "Stop pulling a bill." Like that. She would always say that to me. So that's what we call it in this whole household.
Oh yeah, so that's all it was this week. It's just we tweak an ankle. We're walking around the house fine, but we get
Yep,
on the
yep.
field and now it hurts all of a sudden. We got to figure something out. So
Yeah,
that's my
yeah. We're
only.
trying to teach that out over here right now. A little man, 1.5. He'll fall. He'll be like, "Owie!" I'll be like, "Shake it off," and he'll
Yep.
start doing a dance. He'll start shaking it. Like I'm like,
Whole
"Okay,
body shake
yes,
is
let's
great.
do that." Whole body shake. Sometimes you get a spin going. It's great. All right, let's kick it over to the Big Ten before we recap the Gophers nightmare that happened last Saturday. Big Ten games of the week. We're going to fly through these. The first one is actually on Friday, tomorrow night. So we are recording this on Thursday night. Rutgers at Washington. Now, Washington almost fell apart and lost it to Maryland, but they pulled it back together and got the dub at home against Rutgers. Who do you think is pulling that one off?
I'm just gonna go ahead and say Rutgers because I bet Maryland last week and
Ooh.
literally felt so good at halftime. I was like sick. Haven't won a bet in a week and a half. Just needed to see one go in, and
Still have it.
Washington just came on through.
That's tough. I'm sticking with Washington. They've earned their respect, so I'm going to make it happen there. Next one, Ohio State at Illinois. Look, dude, I don't care, Illinois. I already saw your 50-burger ass whooping to Indiana, so I know Ohio State is coming. Shout out them Buckeye fans. I'm showing you some more love. They're putting the beat down on in Champaign this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's going to be that. Ohio State is so good. They're so good. They just toy with you. They just figure out what we'll get into it.
The defense is nutty. We'll talk about that defense for sure.
So good.
Next game, UCLA at Michigan State. Now, UCLA just pulled out the Wonder Bread last week, giving Penn State a shocker. You got them beating Michigan State too?
No, I do not.
I do.
I do not.
I'm taking it. I believe in miracles. I believe in the UCLA Bruins. On the road at Michigan State, Nico Iamaleava, I'm a gone. Yeah, he's gonna bust it out with 4 more touchdowns this weekend.
It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be too cold for them LA boys.
All right. Next game is probably the game of the week in the Big Ten. Indiana, number 7 at number 3, Oregon. Who you got in that one?
This one is gonna be awesome. This game is gonna rock so hard. I do like Oregon. They're in Indiana though, correct?
Nope. At Oregon.
Oh, then I like Oregon. I think Oregon pulls it out. I think Penn State put up a fight. That doesn't matter though. Who knows what's happening in Penn State? I like Oregon.
Here's what I'll tell you. I'm going to take Oregon, but I'll make this promise here on the show right here, right now. If Indiana beats Oregon, I will not pick against Indiana for the rest of the year unless they're playing Ohio State.
Yeah, that's a great caveat. Yes, and it's very fair. Absolutely fair.
All right, we are going to go Northwestern at Penn State. Look, if Penn State drops this one, I'm sorry, Franklin, but you might as well just stay over there. Actually, no, it's in Pennsylvania, so you might as well pack them bags because you ain't staying at Penn State if you lose to Northwestern and make it 3 straight losses.
I'm surprised they let him back on the plane from LA.
I am too. I'm not even lying to you.
Wild.
They've been talking about you can't win big games, and then he goes and drops one to UCLA, who just fired their coach, who hadn't won a game. Dog. But also, shouts out Northwestern, staying in the conference, didn't have to get relegated, gave Louisiana Monroe the beat down. Shouts out. I'll give it to you.
They did.
You handled business. All right, next game, Nebraska at Maryland. This should be a fun one as well. I'm going to rock with Nebraska, man. I know I've been on the train since before the season started. I can't get off now.
I do like Maryland's quarterback, but yes, after what they did to me this weekend, Nebraska.
The game where we want both teams to lose, Iowa at Wisconsin. How you feeling on that one?
I don't really know. It's Iowa. It's Iowa. They're at Wisconsin, but it doesn't matter.
Wisconsin looks horrible right now, dude.
Yeah, it's like I need them to win at least 2 more games before we play them. So then we can, then we don't beat them and they give you the but we suck this year type thing.
Yeah.
I want to,
I'm going to give you that anyway.
I know. I just want them to have a little bit of confidence going into the game.
They're going to be like, it's our coach, man. Our coach sucks. I'll be like, really? Because the last 2 years you've been telling me this dude is him.
Every year they thought that was going to be best hire.
Yeah, right. I'm saying. Last one game, because the last one is one we're going to talk about, Purdue at Minnesota. But the last game we'll talk about here, Michigan, number 15 Michigan at USC. look, I'm going to say this. If USC loses this game, Lincoln Riley's seat is going to be scalding. And it's a game that he's probably not going to be favored to win. Like I said, Michigan is ranked 15, but if USC loses this game, they probably end up losing 4 or 5 games on the season. They currently have 1 loss, but this is their string of games coming up. They got Michigan at home. They got on the road at Notre Dame, on the road at Nebraska. They still got to play Iowa, and they got to go on the road to Oregon.
Ugh.
If they don't win this Michigan game, they are going to be for sure out of the playoffs and looking at a possible 5-loss season.
Here's the thing. I kind of like Michigan too. Bryce Underwood is getting, he looks so much better than he did in like those first 2 games of the season. And it feels like they've kind of figured out what they have in him, like letting him run a little bit. Like, I don't know. I kind of like Michigan there. USC just scares me because they'll give up. No matter how many points they'll give up, or they no matter how many points they score, they'll always give up 20 more. So it's like, like no matter what, they have to score 110 points to win a game.
I'm going to take USC. I think Mayav is really good, but I think their receiver, Makai Lemon, is a dog. And I don't think Michigan has the firepower to keep up. Like you said,
Yep.
USC's defense gives up points, but like I don't think I think Bryce Underwood's the truth, but I don't think they have enough weapons to really get it done. Now, maybe the ground game can. I know Haynes is a beast on the ground, so maybe they'll make it happen, but I'm going to take USC in a close one. All right, let's move it on. I've been trying to procrastinate, trying to delay it, but we're going to talk about the Ohio State ass whooping that they gave the Minnesota Gophers at Columbus. We're going to kick it off right away with our stat of the week, and I'm going to tell you this is absolutely putrid. Minnesota had 162 total yards of offense in this game. 66 of those yards came in the first drive. 52 yards came in the second to last drive. That was a late garbage time drive that turned into a missed field goal. So that means 73%, 118 of your yards came on 2 drives of your 10 drives. Now, even worse in all of that, your 8 other drives that you had outside of those 2, none of them got 20 yards or more. And 5 of your 10 drives were 3 and outs. AKA, after the first drive, Ohio State bottled us up and beat us down. It was not close. It was not fun. It was not pretty. It drug on. That was a horrible game for Minnesota. And all in all, like, I saw some Ohio State fans chirping again in the comments, talking about Drake Lindsay seeing deer in the headlights, things like that.
Come on,
look. There was 0 separation. Like, you can't even put it on him. He was trying to put the ball in a placement that his receiver could still get it and it wouldn't be a turnover. The fact that he only had 1 turnover-worthy play, which is a route that the cornerback jumped because the wide receiver was already jumping in the air, so the cornerback came underneath and could have intercepted it, but he dropped the ball. That was his only bad throw. Otherwise, he was trying to keep the ball alive while also not putting it in harm's way and having 0 separation after Ohio State switched to man defense. Drake Lindsay was not the problem in this game. I promise you that. But this game was not pretty. It was not fun. And the stat of the week just shows that the Gophers were absolutely shut down. Now, I'll ask the question. I can't take your light from you. Can't take your glory from you. But I don't know about this one. Do you have a that dude's good for this week?
No, I do not. We will always have that first drive. We'll always have that first drive. I tried so hard to think of somebody who stood out a little bit, but that was a beatdown. Like you said, I mean, the first drive was great when they sat in that zone. Drake Lindsay kind of picked it apart. I was like, okay, we got life. And then they just switched to man, and it was the one-on-ones. We were losing every one-on-one battle. Like, they're
could not separate
man on man. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, we couldn't do nothing. It was crazy. They're so good. Every player at every position is just so good.
Yeah, you're going to see a number of those dudes in the NFL, that's for sure.
Yes, it was nuts.
0 QB hurries, 0 sacks, 0 turnovers, less than 100 yards passing.
Carter Menz almost had one. Remember?
Almost had one.
Almost close.
Had one. And he was my call for the breakout player of the week. But less than 100 yards throwing, less than 70 yards rushing, and the coaching couldn't adjust or respond. It was a horror game all the way through. I agree with you 100%. No, that dude's good this week.
I have the worst call of the whole game. Worst call. Not a referee call, but by PJ. Fourth quarter.
4th and 1.
The missed field goal? Why we even kick that field goal? Like what?
He was trying to make it look like we could get 6 at
Bro,
least.
what? In what world does 6 look that much better than 3? Like,
how about the 4th and 1 where we ran it out of shotgun again when we went for it?
It was nuts. I mean, I couldn't even. At that point, I had already been so mentally out of that game. I was at the point where I'm like, I can't wait for this game to be over. But it was like, what are we doing here? Like, that was the saddest field goal I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, I feel you 1000%. As for Kane's what the helly moment of the week, at first I put the whole damn game. But no, my biggest what the helly came after the game, came on Twitter, and I don't want to bring this up, but I kind of have to.
Don't do it.
Have to.
No.
Look, I don't want to be that old dude.
I don't
want to be that old dude.
That's what I was gonna say. You're old man yelling at clouds right now.
I saw the picture of Philip Daniels standing with his boys, posing, the Gophers players posing with their former teammate. Look, I don't even care that y'all cool with your former team. Like, I don't care. That part isn't the part that bothers me. I'm not the old folks like, you're supposed to be enemies. No, but no. What I'm saying is you just got your ass busted on that field, and then you're going to pose for a pic. Like, my thing is dap them up. Show love, dap them up. If you really want a picture, go in the hallway in the locker room on the way there. Take the picture back there where can't everybody see you. But the fact that we squatting up and we posing after we just got busted, nah, man. You can't let that one get out in public. It's not even the fact that you did it. You can't let that get out in public. It just dap them up, show love, and get off the field.
I think I don't mind it. I don't mind it in the instance of where we lost by 40. Because then it's like, okay, yeah, we lost by 40. This was not an emotional loss. If we would have lost by like 3, if we lose to a team by 3, you better not be taking no pictures. Don't take no pictures after we just barely lost, because then it shows like you weren't mentally there. You're worried about taking pictures after the game. This one, oh no, by halftime, I'd be like, hey, let me get a pic after the game. Hey, what you doing? Hey, where is there to eat around here after this one? Because I'm like,
I don't mind that. Get the deets. Get the deets, but we don't need the. Don't pose. Don't pose for the picture, man. Like I'm just like and I'm like, no. Y'all better not be holding up no fingers, no nothing. You better sit there with a pissed off look at your face. You better look at that man like you want to kill him. Like, come on, man.
Get on the bus.
And I feel 1000% like a boomer talking about this. These are just kids, but damn, man, we got to have a little bit of pride. We just got whooped. I mean, I could be tripping, but that was my what the helly. I'll take the boomer take on this one.
I saw a bunch of people who had that same sentiment, but I was like, we got busted. Like, it doesn't matter. You were already you're already like chit chatting. Like, there's not going to be a fight breaking out in the fourth quarter of this game, because it wasn't emotional at all. It was just belt to ass since the first quarter, first drive.
You ain't wrong there. All right, things we learned from this game, and then we're never going to talk about it again because we need to let it just die in the depths. Things we learned: these wide receivers cannot create separation in space in man defense when they're playing against high-level corners. I want to stress that. These corners are going to be guys that could be on the fringe or will be drafted in the NFL. The other player we've seen like that was Cal's number 1 corner, who was going to be drafted, and he was locking it down when we were playing and throwing against him at Cal. When they play against NFL-style cornerbacks, they can't find separation. Now, luckily, we don't always have to play against NFL-style cornerbacks, but at the same time, like, over time, we have to find ways to get more creative and try to attack things like that, find ways to adjust on things like that, or you will never reach the next level. I'm not talking about championship level even. I'm talking about pulling upsets against big teams. I'm talking about getting yourself into the conversation as the 4th or 5th best team in the conference. If you want to get to there, you got to find ways to attack that, and right now the Gophers just don't have it. Other things that we've learned: the adjustments to drive, especially on defense, are still an issue. We put too much on our secondary to hang tough with wide receivers 1v1, and we just came off of 2 straight games where they had dudes on both sides of the ball, and we've left our corners out to dry a little bit on that front. But overall, I think you can hang your head, or you can respond. And I feel like right now this is the time where you have to respond, because you're not going to play another team like Ohio State this season except for Oregon. You know that one's coming. I'm not going to even try to talk about an upset in that week anymore. It is
I'll get there, folks.
that one's
I'll
done.
get there.
Chalk it up as an L. But the rest of the games outside of Oregon are all winnable, and they won't have that type of talent on the field. So now it's time to respond. Now it's time to erase this entire game, throw it in the trash, and move forward. So overall, the rest of the games, you need to be your best, and you can still have a respectable season. And the final thing I learned, Drake Lindsey is a dude. He still needs wide receivers to separate in order for us to have success moving forward, especially when they, again, switched to man D with NFL level cornerbacks, but he didn't put the ball in harm's way. He was trying to give the players a chance to make the ball while still putting it out there in the man coverage without putting it in harm's way, and that's impressive in its own right. I think he is going to eat against Purdue this week.
No, I think he'll have a great week this week. I didn't think he looked bad. He was. It's so hard to evaluate this game. It's so hard to evaluate this team based on this game. It's the same way we couldn't evaluate it those first couple of weeks because we were playing nobodies, and now we're playing everybody's. Like it's just guys everywhere. They got players everywhere, and they're so good. It's hard to get a beat on what that looks like going forward on the season. I definitely don't feel like season's over because nobody had this circled as a win in the books. You know, we had this circle on a. Hopefully we cover the spread in the books. Like it's not like this didn't break the season. It has a weird feeling though. It does feel like the beginning of a new season, like I said earlier, like we got to kind of reset. But it almost feels like we just came off of a terrible bye week. Like it's very weird. Yeah. Like it feels a very long time. Like maybe we should have just been prepping for Purdue instead.
Well, speaking of that, we're going to move on to Purdue. Now, where the Gophers rank in the nation ahead of this Purdue game, everything definitely took a dip after this game. But we have pass offense at 69. We've got the rush offense at 102nd in the nation. We have the scoring offense at 78th in the nation, and then total offense at 89th in the nation. So none of those numbers really amazing to look at, but none of them terrible at the same time. Rushing is actually pretty bad, 102nd, but everything else, you're still about average in the country, so you'll take it at this point. Now you'll hopefully improve on it over these next few games. Defensive wise, we took some dips. Pass defense is now 52nd in the nation. Scoring defense is now 56th in the nation. Rush defense still 10th in the nation in rush defense. Total defense, 17th in the nation, tied for 22nd in sacks and tied for 67th in turnovers. So that's where the Gophers are as we head into Purdue week. Now let's talk about Purdue a little bit. How are you feeling about the Purdue squad? Anybody you've had in your notes? Because we know Tristyn isn't a note taker at all times, but when he does, it's valuable stuff. So how are you feeling? What are you thinking with this Purdue Boilermaker team?
First thing written down on my notes, Ryan Brown. Is it Brownie or Brown?
I think it's Brown.
The E seems unnecessary, but I wrote that he's good. I think he is a good quarterback. He's got a few turnovers, but his completion percentage is really good, and he's got a lot of yards. Like he's got 3 games over 300 yards. So I think you have to respect him, which is going to be a great week for our secondary to bounce back. So secondary's got to make some plays this week because I don't think they have as good of a ground offense. So things could be nice if the secondary steps up.
Yeah, they do have Maccabee, and we all know about Maccabee after the last time Purdue played us. That was the game that Mo Ibrahim sat out. It was a homecoming game. It was a game we fully anticipated to win, and Maccabee gashed us as a true freshman, I believe, for 112 yards and a touchdown. So he is still the running back for them. It feels like he is like 8 million years old at this point, but he is running for them. So they still have a decent running back there, but I'm going to say this from jump. Look, before we dive too deep into this Purdue team, you better respond. Don't come out here and have this close battle with the Purdue Boilermakers who are showing fight in every game. No, that's not acceptable. I am expecting you to come out here and put your foot on their neck and frickin' kill. You need to come out and respond, or you have lost the fan base for the rest of the season. If you win in a close one, people are going to be like, but Purdue's not good. And they're not fully wrong. If you look at the defense, 110th in run defense, Darius Taylor should eat. 103rd in pass defense, Drake Lindsey should eat. 107th in scoring defense, they give up a lot of points. And 132nd, the worst in the entire country in turnovers gained. So, like, you need to come out here and capitalize on this defense, attack this defense, put your foot on their necks and respond, because that is how you get back into the season. That's how you re-energize into this next stretch, which we've called the most critical stretch of the season. You've got your Purdue game, you've got your Nebraska game, you've got your Iowa game, and then you've got your Michigan State game. That's the 4 games where you need to walk away with a minimum of 2 wins, hopefully 3 wins, and if you can clear all 4, you're looking at a successful season. This is the most pivotal stretch of the season, and this is where you have to respond and give yourself life.
I agree 100%. Like, I think Purdue is getting, I don't want to say that they're better. They're better than they were last year, and I think that's where people, I don't know how to say it without sounding like I'm being disrespectful, but I think they're getting a lot of over respect, if that's a thing, because they're better than they were last year, and they did just go through a gauntlet. They played a lot of good teams. So I think it's hard to gauge where they're at as a program as well at this point in the season. So I think that's kind of where, like, even like the line is set at. Like, I think that's why they're getting that much respect. But if the Gophers come out strong and play well, they beat this team. Like, I think they're a better team than this Purdue team. I think it's just a lot of people like, well, Purdue is better than last year, so they're going to be better, when no, they might just still be a below average team.
Yep, and with that, this is why you have to respond this week, because Purdue is about to go on a stretch where they think, look, if we win this game, we can get it back on track, because they play Minnesota, then they play Northwestern, then they play Rutgers, who Minnesota beat. So they're like, if we beat Minnesota, we got these next 3 games in the bag. Whereas this is pivotal for them, because, like I said, they have 2 wins right now. They need basically all 3 of those wins. That'd be 5. They need 1 more win to get a bowl game. Their final 4 games: Michigan, Ohio State, Washington, Indiana.
Oh boy.
Like, those are the final 4 where they have to take 1 game, even if they win their next 3. So, like, it's not looking like this Purdue team is going to be bowling this season. But if they have any hope of sparking energy, it starts here. Mm-hmm. If they don't get this game, they probably are like, we might win 1 Big Ten game and be out for the rest of the year. Like, so this is going to be a game where they come to try and play.
I hate that this game is at 6:30.
I do too.
This is the most 11 o'clock game that has ever existed.
You're not wrong at all.
I keep envisioning myself watching it, and I'm like, no, it's going to be dark outside when you're watching this game, and I hate that so much. Like,
dog, I feel that. And in fact, this is the first game I'm attending as a fan rather than in the press box in years. I haven't been to a game as a fan in years. And I was like, yo, my friends want to go to it. Like, I want to bring the little man to his first Gopher game. Let's make it happen. And we picked the Purdue game because it was one that worked out with people's schedules. Then they clocked it at a night game, and I was like, oh, God, like, why? Why are we doing this right now?
It just feels gross. It feels gross. Put it in the daytime.
Yeah. Yeah. So also, shouts out, if you see us at a tailgate, feel free to show some love. But if not, it's cool. I'm not stressing about it. But anyways, let's talk about Purdue.
Say what's up if you want, but if you don't want to, that's cool.
The defense, the only player on the entire defense, they have 1 player on the entire defense with a grade above 70 on PFF. So basically everybody on their defense is average at best. And then Charles Correa leads the team in tackles, 43, and he's second on the team in sacks with 2. He is a linebacker. Their sacks leader is an interior defensive line named CJ Nunnally. He has 3 sacks on the year, but Purdue overall has 0 interceptions on the year and 1 forced fumble on the year. This team has not forced fumbles. They have not forced turnovers. Do not let this be the week that they capitalize on that. You have to take care of the football. You have to take care of the football, and if you do that, you can probably pull this dub off. The defense should have the Gophers licking their chops to bounce back after the massacre that just happened in Columbus. But on the flip side, Purdue's offense has been respectable. Ryan Brown, like you said, 1,338 pass yards, 7 touchdowns, 62% completion, 5 interceptions. So aside from Ball State, he has had turnover-worthy plays in every single game except for the first game of the year. So hopefully Minnesota can get back on the board in that front and get some turnovers, spark some juice and some motivation with this defense once again. But Brown, look, I'm going to say this. I'm not saying he is this player, but Brown has the moxie and the swagger and like the I'm gonna do whatever it takes, like a Baker Mayfield. That's what his moxie and his presence, his aura gives me. So don't let him go out there and be that. Like you gotta rattle him right away. You gotta get an interception. You gotta get some pressure on him. You gotta let Anthony Smith eat. And if you can do that, I think you can put this game away easy. If you let him get that swagger going, get that confidence going, this is going to be a close game, and I do not want that because that is not fun with a young Gophers team.
No, that sounds like no fun at all. I have a big thing for the defense, missed tackles. Gotta make tackles. I mean, I get it. It was Ohio State, but even as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, that's just, you got to wrap up. Like, you got to wrap up and make the tackle and complete the play. I think that's going to be a huge part of the defense this week. If we don't make tackles, that is going to be brutal as well. That will be a long day.
But Maccabee is the type of running back to make missed tackles happen, so you got to wrap up. He's the type of dude that he will run through the arm tackles and things like that, so you have to be able to get to the fundamentals and get some real tackles out there. But this is a team, like, even though it sounds like we're like, oh yeah, the Gophers should beat Purdue, oh yeah, this needs to be a win, blah blah blah, this is a game we called out from preseason that we said, do not overlook this Purdue team. Minnesota cannot overlook this Purdue team. And Purdue, like I said, is likely looking at this as an opportunity to go on a run against Minnesota, then Northwestern, then Rutgers. So you have to snuff out that spark immediately. You can't start slow, or that will give life to this team. And then that's where you get into a game where it's down to the wire. And you really can't afford that at this point.
Yeah, keep taking shots too. Like, keep throwing the ball. Like, I can see this game, again, though, I don't see us completing big passes in the nighttime, and I hate that. But
it's okay. DT's back, right? DT's back.
That's true. That's true.
Don't give him 30 touches, but like you can get him going again.
Yes, but just we don't need any regression. Like we don't need to play like we. I mean, we did lose against Ohio State, but I'm saying like we don't need to play like it was our fault. Like there was an issue there. We just got beat. But keep the same standard that we were having going into Ohio State.
Take the mentality you had in that first drive and apply it to the entire game. You do that, you will walk away with a win in this game.
Yes.
My 3 keys for the game before we dive into our predictions. Number 1, defense has to get pressure on the quarterback, who can occasionally be mobile, but if you put him in that turnover-worthy play situation, it's going to play well in your favor. Number 2, get the offense generating again. This defense is quite the opposite of Ohio State, so you can rebuild your confidence against this defense, and you should do it in the air, you should do it on the ground, you should make it feel like you are the juggernaut in this point and like really emphasize it. Like, I'm not looking for a 21-14 victory. I'm looking for, if you can score on every drive, go freaking do it so you can spark some life and energy and confidence back into your team. So PJ cannot be passive this week. He needs to attack. I hope the Gophers put up 42 so that way they can feel some life and some energy moving forward. And then the third key for me is find ways to establish the run game with Darius Taylor officially back. Anything I'm missing? Anything else you want to see from me before we dive into the predictions?
You nailed it, because like I said, this Purdue team has played some very decent teams, so it's kind of hard to get a beat on it. So I said all I had written down, and you know me, big notes guy.
Big notes. All right, let's dive into the predictions. Drake Lindsey, pass yards. I got the line set at 220.5. So that means, is he going above 220 or 220 or under? What do you got the over-under on Drake Lindsey?
Over. It's going to be a bounce back week. I'm so excited.
I'm going to take the over as well. But if PJ does play pass and he's like, oh, we just need to win, we're going to keep this game close, whatever, then it will be under. But if he's like, look, I don't care, we need to score, we need to get life, take the over. Drake Lindsey, he might even get to the 300 mark again. All right, Maccabee, rushing, 74.5 is the line. So you think he'll get 75 or more, or you think the Gophers can keep him under that 75-yard mark? Again, Gophers 10th in rush defense, though maybe that's a little fluky because teams are passing all over them. What are you thinking here?
I actually kind of like the under in this one. And I don't even think that's a unrealistic confidence there. I think our run defense is very good. So I'm gonna hammer the under. I don't think their run game is gonna be as strong as we think. I hope.
I'm going to take the over. I think it's slightly, but I just want to mix it up a little bit for us as well. Ryan Brown, their quarterback, you mentioned he's had 300 yards in 3 of their games. I've got the line set at 279.5. So do you think he's going to get 280 or above, or do you think the Gophers can keep him under that 280? Now, remember, the Gophers' pass defense, what we used to believe was strong, has been on a big question mark over the last 3-4 games. How are you feeling? 280?
We're gonna get homer picks out of me this week because it's such a bounce back spot. Homecoming, bright lights, secondary steps back up, and they play the way we know they can. Give me the under.
All right, I'll take the over on this one. I don't think he gets to 300, but I think he'll get above 280. Yardage given up total by the Gophers. What do you got?
Ooh. Oh, let's see. So I said under there. Ooh.
You said under on both.
I did. I know. So now I put myself in a box. Give me 350.
All right. I don't know how you got the under there on both of those and still took 350, but we'll make that happen.
Math ain't math.
I'm gonna go 375 for total yards for this Purdue offense. And first touchdown, you get the first pick.
Darius Taylor.
First Gophers touchdown, I should stress, for any Purdue followers that find their way over here.
Or Ohio State fans.
Yeah, they could be back. Somebody said he was tapped in and subscribing. He likes the vibes. I'm going Jamison Gears.
Oh, I like that. My second pick, Jalen Smith. I think he's gonna have a monster week this week. I don't know what's making me feel that way, but maybe it's because he's a stud.
All right, I need a get right game from Javon Tracy. I need him to, that first drive. It was a little bit far, but he had his hands on the ball, and you know what we say when you're a pass catcher, you get the hands on the ball, you better come down with the ball. Yep. He catches that, he's walking into the end zone for a touchdown in the first drive against Ohio State. Dropped that, the Gophers never had a chance the rest of the game. Javon Tracy, he's going to capitalize, he's going to make up for it this week. Let's make it happen, Javon Tracy. All right, do the Gophers score in their first drive?
Yeah, I think so. I love that opening script. Defense is going to know get them on their heels right away before they make any adjustments.
Touchdown or field goal?
Touchdown.
All right, I'm going to go yes. I'm going to go field goal. But who knows? It depends on what kicker we have in the game at this point because I'm sorry, Brady, but I'm not feeling it. You got to miss in each of the last 3 games now. It's time to try out some of the younger guys.
He should have never been kicking that kick at the end of that game anyways. The offense should have still been on the field. That is not on him. That is on PJ. We should have been going for it.
All right, how many turnovers do the Gophers get this week? And if you have any, who gets them?
Yeah, I have 2 written down, and I like them both. And one of them's kind of spicy. Aiden Gooseby pick.
Is he going to play? He was out last game.
He didn't play at all?
He was out.
Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure he was out last game.
Well, I have Coy for a pick. Coy's going to get
all right.
Devin Williams, fumble recovery.
He's going to keep putting that in the ether until it happens.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have to because he's due.
Yeah, he is due. Like, I'm going to go 1. I'm going to go Anthony Smith on a fumble. And who leads the team in tackles? I'm going first. I'm going to go Kerry Brown leads the team in tackles this week.
I'm actually going to stick with that's actually where my Devin Williams was written down at. Devin Williams. I mean, that's a chalk pick, but.
All right. This week, I'm going 3 sacks, and 2 of them are Anthony Smith. One of them, my guy, Carter Menz. He's cooking. He's getting it going. He's getting the juices flowing. He's going to be the next one up.
One this week.
Next one up. Carter Menz making it happen. How many sacks you got, and who do you got getting them?
You have 3? I'll go 2. 1, Anthony Smith. And I like Coy. He had one a couple weeks ago. Like, just that blitz off the edge. Like, it's that blindside blitz. He just kills him.
All right, we're going to pick offense and defensive players of the game. I'll go first on the offense, and I'm going to take Darius Taylor. I think it's a bounce back big game. First game that he's really going to get a ton of touches in since the week 1 opener, and I think he's going to make his mark. Who are you feeling as your offensive player of the game?
Like I said, Jalen Smith is going to have a big week this week.
All right, then flipping it over defense, you kick it off. Who you got for the Gophers?
I'm going to keep riding. Devin Williams. I just think he's going to have a great week. I think I went Anthony Smith like 3 weeks in a row. So Devin Williams.
Look, Devin Williams, when you see Tristyn, you better hit the Chameleonaire. They see me rolling.
Yep.
That's what Tristyn is doing for you right now.
That's all he's going to ball out.
He's ready to ball for you. Defensive player of the game this week. I'm pulling it out of the bag. I haven't said his name in a while. Still got a lot of love for him. Devin Eastern. He's going to be stuffing the run game. He's going to be shutting it down. Devin Maccabee, who? The right Devin in this game is going to be Devin Eastern, and he's got it cooking here. He's my defensive player of the game. So many Devins. Devin Williams, Devin Eastern, Devin Maccabee. Who knows? All right, what's your final score for this game?
I have had a hard time with the final score of this game.
Do you know the spread?
Yeah, what's the spread?
The spread is 7.5 points in favor of the Gophers. The over-under is 52.5.
I like the Gophers to win 31. Is 31 a number? Yep. 31-14.
All right, bro. You know what's wrong when I'm out here overdoing the homer on the prediction, but I am expecting fireworks. I am expecting PJ, Harbo, Danny Collins. All of them need to step it up and show that they can go out here and give their guys some confidence. I'm going, and this is going to sound so stupid. The Purdue fans are going to clip me. They're going to whip my ass after this one. Minnesota 42, Purdue 21. I got the Gophers doubling down on Purdue's score. I think the Gophers are going to go out there looking to prove a point after the butt whooping they just got from Ohio State. So please don't make me look foolish on this one. They very well could. It could be like our homecoming 3 years ago against Purdue for all I know. Hopefully it's not, but that's where I got this one going. What is your biggest worry? Worry in this one?
Before we keep going, we gotta work on your crazy takes. That wasn't crazy. That wasn't that insane. Like, that's very reason. You know all the crazy, the nonsense that I spout on this show, and you thought that was insane?
Yes. Coming off of a game where we lost 42-3 and had a total of 160 yards, I think that was a very crazy.
But that first drive.
They better bring that first drive to every drive in this next game. And I won't be in the press box. I'm going to be first row, ready to go. Okay, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be chanting. I'm going to be cheering. I'm going to be with the squad. So hopefully the Gophers show out so the rest of the squad wants to come to future Gopher games. We'll see if that happens. But what is your biggest worry in this game?
It's the missed tackles. The missed tackles is egregious. We have to make tackles.
I want to ask you, do you remember what your worry was from last game? I have it written down here.
Was it missed tackles?
No.
What was it?
Your worry last game was to not get blown out.
Well, I mean, mine was I wrong? Was I wrong in being concerned?
Mine was the secondary, so we were both.
What? I sounds like I was correct in what I should have been worried about.
Yes. So you got missed tackles this week. My biggest worry for this week is starting slow. If you start slow, this game might come down to the wire, so hopefully they don't do that. What is the thing that gives you confidence heading into this game?
It feels like a reset. It feels like a good reset. Everyone's healthy. It just feels like a new season. It feels like new season right now. Like the Big Ten play starts now. Forget about Ohio State. They don't count.
Yeah, my biggest confidence is that Purdue's defense is literally in the bottom under 100 in almost every key category. So this has to be a game that you're just like, yeah, we can light it up here. We can erase everything and treat this like it's going to play Northwestern State again.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying Purdue is Northwestern State, but I want you to have that mentality like you can do whatever you want, whenever you want in this game, and I need you to attack it. So that's my biggest thing is the Purdue defense. Finally, last thing we got before we wrap this bad boy up, who is your out of nowhere player to have a big week?
Out of nowhere. Give me my boy Zaquan. He was playing his ass off against Ohio State. It was a tough fight, but he just no quitting him. No quitting my dog.
No quit. My out of nowhere player in this game.
This is tough.
Damn.
See? Who?
It is tough. It is tough. I'm gonna go.
Yep. See? For the people who think this show is scripted and that we
it's
plan all this
definitely not.
out, this is
It's
off the dome.
fully off the
It's
cuff.
just feel. We go off of feel alone.
I'm gonna go with Nathan Roy. I think Nathan Roy is just gonna dominate on the O-line. He's gonna bully, and he's just going to create a lot of holes for Darius Taylor to run through on his side of the line. Let's go with Nathan Roy. It feels good to me. That's gonna wrap up our Gopher talk as we get ready to take Purdue on before we play another night game on a Friday against Nebraska. Too many night games in this Gophers. What happened to the good college football days of 11 a.m. games? But any final words for the
middle of
people?
the slate.
Right. Any final words for the people following?
No, man, just bounce back, and we'll always have that first drive against Ohio State. And we got to move on from there. We move on from there.
If you haven't watched the replay for the Ohio State game, watch the opening drive, then turn the game off.
Don't need to watch anymore.
Act like it was a tight one. Act like it was a great one. But Gophers fans, please hit subscribe over on YouTube. This is a show for you. We like to chop it up. We will do a mailbag here soon in one of these episodes as well, just to get the questions flowing. We're about that halfway point. I feel like we got a Friday game coming up. We can have some fun with it. We can have some good times with it.
Don't say halfway point. Don't use that word. Don't use those words in that order. There's so much football to be played.
I'm sorry, but we are almost at that halfway
Don't
point.
wish away.
So that's going to do it for us here at the Gopher Bro Podcast. Hit subscribe over on YouTube. Like, follow, subscribe, share. Leave a 5-star review wherever you get podcasts, and we will see you next time. Roll the boat, Sky, my Go Gophers. As always, please don't forget to hit subscribe.